Owning and driving performance is driven by the need to significantly improve outcomes for citizens by providing a framework that enables all staff to perform to their best. Introduced in Birmingham in 2018, ODP is a very different approach. It creates a culture that empowers and liberates staff to think creatively, productively and collaboratively. Fundamentally, it moves away from parent-child model to adult-adult. Staff are encouraged to work independently whenever possible, make use of all of their resources and communicates across grades and services. ODP focuses on outcomes rather than process and helps build and enhance personal resilience to meet the changing demands and expectations within public service. It places equal emphasis on what is being done in terms of delivery and monitoring, together with how we do things with positive attitude and mindset. If you look at the performance data in terms of improvements in adults, for instance, over the last 18 months, it's phenomenal. Both quantifiable data but also qualitative data. So people feeling very different, people much more engaged.
This is something we want to build into the organisation so it's sustainable, so that when people come and go, as they inevitably do, it doesn't matter because they've still got the same tools, the same approach built into the way they work.
ODP has a number of principal aims. Moving away from silo working to build significant and effective partnerships up, down and across services. Moving away from dependency, usually on the grade above you, to create independence and responsibility for moods, behaviour and actions as adults at work. Moving away from telling and advice giving to use in-time coaching as a means of empowering all to think and act differently. Moving away from limitations and how we've always done things and to create a climate of high support and high challenge. ODP is strongly aligned to the 3 conversations approach with citizens currently undertaken within adult social care services. Similarly, it sets out to empower, motivate and value individuals. ODP is highly inclusive and involves everybody. There are several waves to the approach, each linked to the others. The peer-to-peer is a relationship across grade.
Sometimes I used to be scared to pursue things because I didn't know where it was going to end. Actually, with the structure, that gives me a framework that I can work through and hopefully move on from it, rather than being fearful of actually approaching a situation. So yeah, it's made things a lot clearer for me in my mind.
What we're seeing is managers who are more confident and capable to deal with workforce issues and who feel empowered to deal with things informally. So where traditionally very often managers would say, I'm going to have to go through a formal process and fill out lots of paperwork and it becomes very complicated and quite difficult for everybody. Now managers are saying, well actually I could have a quiet word. I could do something which is very low level and achieves the desired outcome without the need to put everybody through a lengthy, complex process.
I don't see myself as being the solution. I see myself as being the vehicle towards the solution, and that's a fundamental change in my mindset. One of the modules is around active listening. So when someone does sidle up to me in a bit of a panic, I even turn off my computer screen and I give that individual my full 100% of my attention.
Found a lot more, let's work together, let's work through it, it's not us and them. It feels better, it feels good.
Now I'm in a position where I can actually talk to colleagues within my new directorate, and I also get to talk to people in other directorates as part of my role, and we can sort of have those conversations. I can try and, almost by stealth, introduce some of those ODP concepts, because I think one of the big things about it is you shouldn't just sit down and say, right, it's ODP time now. It should be about getting those behaviours into your day-to-day.
Now you're starting to see much more what you call matrix management kind of approach. You're seeing teams working together, you're seeing much more collaboration on the way through. You're seeing far less trying to shift blame and actually trying to own problems together.
The fact that people are already taking ownership for what they're doing, it means that in people's exchanges, if they're embodying ODP correctly in their exchanges with other people, it's a much more fluid, objective way of working. I think that this is the way forward, and I think it's going to be around for a very long time.
Colleagues, my peers have all said how they use it with citizens, they use it with their own colleagues and families as well. I mean, I use it with my own 6-year-old and it's working a treat.
It allows me to celebrate me and allows me to celebrate others and others to celebrate themselves.
One of the gifts it's given me is that I feel that my creativity has been able to come to the forefront again.
I think there are really positive signs that it's becoming embedded in the way that we do work. So we have a very active Yammer group where a lot of staff contribute on a regular basis and have done for over a year now. We hear the terminology of ODP used regularly in discussions between staff and management, and it is now starting to move across the whole of the City Council.
If I compare our performance 2 years ago, I can see those improvements. The feedback from staff tells me that we're developing stronger teams that are more robust, more resilient and able to get on and do things, and we're beginning to see greater innovation.